last video with Mr. Benjamin, we concluded the management of learner misconduct. In this video, we will focus on the importance of sound financial management in schools. As an introduction, I will sketch the cost of servicing education in the Western Cape in 2021 before we deal with financial management at school level. So sit back and enjoy. Financial management is often a contentious issue in a school environment, and conflict around the roles and responsibilities of the various stakeholders can lead to unnecessary tension and, in extreme cases, a collapse of sound financial management in a school. It is a portfolio that must be treated with appropriate seriousness given the potential for negative impact if things go wrong. Without sound financial management, a school cannot serve the need for a quality learning experience for every child in the school. But before we get there, it might be insightful for all SGB members to be aware of the cost of education in the Western Cape on an annual basis. Each year, the MEC for Finance and Economic Opportunities releases via the Western Cape Appropriation Bill the breakdown of budget allocations for each government department in the province. This year, 2021, the Education Department was allocated a baseline budget of 24.5 billion. So, if the Western Cape Education Department received 24.5 billion, how is this spent? The total allocation is split up as follows. 1. Administration at 1.3 billion. 2. Public ordinary schooling at 18.4 billion. 3. Independent subsidies at 130 million. 4. Special schooling receives 1.4 billion. 5. ECD receives 647 million. 6. Infrastructure at 1.8 billion. 7. Examination administration and education related services receives 709 million. As you can judge from the numbers, the education budget is substantial, and as is the case at the level of government, schools too have significant financial resources to manage. I cannot therefore overemphasize the importance of proper oversight and ethical conduct around this resource. Once the Education Department receives its allocations, schools are informed around the state allocation they will receive. The allocation normally has a per learner calculation depending on the quintile status of the school. The state allocation ranges from 1,536 per learner to 266 per learner in 2021 in the Western Cape. Schools in turn have to use the state allocation to cover the following categories. 25% must be used for LTSM orders, of which 10% should be targeted for library material. Each learner must have a textbook for every subject. And the stock of school library material should be augmented annually until the total number of items reflects the minimum international standard of 10 items per learner. The school must also use 15% for local purchases, which includes personal protective equipment. 10% of that must be used for IT-related LTSM resources for enhancing digital learning. 25% for municipal services. However, schools should budget for larger percentage if expenditure trends necessitates this. 25% must be used for maintenance, of which 25% of this allocation should be earmarked for repairs and the procurement of new equipment to safeguard the school. The Department of Basic Education defines LTSM as any material that supports and facilitates teaching and learning directly in the classroom or at home. This would refer to homework. It also includes the following: textbooks, readers, reference books, prescribed works, atlases and dictionaries, as well as workbooks, posters, maps and wall charts, educational board games, library material, fiction and non-fiction reference books, posters, and recordings on videos, DVDs, CDs, multimedia, etc. It also includes computer software and licensing. resource material for educators, learners, classrooms and libraries. The NNS allocation for municipal services to schools is intended for the payment of, amongst others, schools' monthly municipal services account, which includes electricity, water, sewage and refuse removal, availability and usage charges, but excludes the payment of property tax. The day-to-day maintenance applies to the maintenance of grounds, cleaning, renovations, guarding services, repairs and/or replacement of parts of school buildings and security mechanisms. Regular maintenance must be carried out to prevent the deterioration of school buildings and emergency repairs resulting from neglect. When the NNS allocation for day-to-day maintenance is insufficient, schools are expected to supplement the allocation from their own income where necessary. Schools must budget for their day-to-day maintenance repairs in accordance with the conditions of the school buildings and grounds. Schools should also set aside an amount from their annual day-to-day maintenance allocation for the Number 1, maintenance of equipment used to enhance appearances of the school grounds. For example, servicing the lawnmower, purchasing paint for benches on the school grounds, or purchasing lime and fertilizers. Number 2, maintenance of firefighting equipment, i.e. hoses, reels, appropriate fire extinguishers, etc., as well as emergency maintenance of security mechanisms or guarding services when the existing security mechanisms, which would include automatic gates, gate motors, etc., at a school have been compromised as a result of burglary, vandalism, or age, and maintenance of fencing and other security mechanisms, for example, alarms, intercoms, and anything security related. NNS allocation may not be used for day-to-day repairs to hostels. Such repairs should be funded from the learners' boarding fees and bursaries. The NNS allocation may also not be used for the following. Number 1, remuneration of governing body appointed personnel. 2, new buildings. 3, hostel expenditure. 4, loans to individuals or other institutions. And 5, vehicles. We have not discussed own income sources in this video, but rather emphasized state allocation. We will touch on own income sources in the next video when we look at the SGB as an employer. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the notification bell so that you can receive alerts when the latest video is released. We will see you soon. Goodbye.